Okay, just had a package delivered, and this is from You Discover Music, North Dock, Memphis, Tennessee, straight to Midland, Texas. I got these ordered a couple days ago, and we're going to do the unboxing now. And as you can see, it's a rather big box. This is the first 3 Danzig albums. I did not order the 4th one, just didn't have the money for it, so I thought I'd focus on the first 3. And it was a good thing that I did, because the first 2 albums have sold out. You can still get Danzig 3, How the Gods Kill, and you can still get Danzig 4. However, we're going to have to wait for a repress on the first 2 albums if that ever happens, which is why I jumped on this. Now, I had this album as a European, we call them bootlegs, that I got in 2022. It is not a gatefold, as you can see here, but it does have that wraparound art. The original was a gatefold. Now, this is a 2022 release with the barcode. There are versions out there without the barcode. My version is on blue vinyl. It's got the Deaf American label, later changed to American, and it sounds okay. It's probably more than likely a CD transfer, as opposed to having remastered from the original tapes or a digital file. But this had to do in the meantime because I couldn't afford an original copy, and this came around 25 bucks, and you can get this in red, you can get this in green, you can get this in black. It's easy to find. My older brother, in fact, told me he's got Danzig 2 as well. So I only found Danzig 1 in the wild, and so I picked it up. So when I heard about You Discover announcing these were being released, I quickly ordered them. It just so happened to have finished a tattoo and had the money and spent it. I couldn't buy all 4, so I just focused on the first 3. So let's go ahead and open it and see what we have here. Okay, we've got some packing cardboardy stuff, which is cool. I'm glad they did that. So let's just throw that over there. And we've got the You Discover receipt, no information on it. And underneath that, we've got a little cardboard. And here we are, guys. Danzig, yes. No corners, no bends. You can see the hype sticker right there. Simply reads, 1988 album features the songs Mother and Twist of Cain. Now, to my understanding, this original sticker was on original pressings, but only read Danzig because there's no title on the artwork itself. And as you can see, this is a gatefold, so it will open up. And the credit on this, if I can get it in here, here we go, reads Deaf or Just American. You can see there, Just American. Let me get that kind of, if we can get it focused there. Just American, not Deaf American. And UM, which I assume is Universal Music Company. Yeah, underneath it. Now it says 1988, distribution by Universal Music Enterprises, marketed by Universal Music Enterprises, Santa Monica, California. And then there's the barcode. But yeah, there it is. So that is the Danzig 1. And then underneath that, we've got, there we go, Danzig. Danzig. Second album, Danzig 2, Lucifage. And you got the boys there on the cover. Big Glenn head. Now this one has a sticker which says, 1990 album features Killer Wolf and Her Black Wings. There is the back. Look at that. That is some great photography. You see that there. And then you've got the track listing there as well. Getting some reflection because they're in the shrink wrap. And also the American. And then in this one, the barcode's right over here. And as you can see, this is this a gatefold, this one? Does not appear to be a gatefold. No, it's a single sleeve. I've been hearing people saying this was a gatefold. This is not a gatefold. It is a single sleeve. Yeah, no, that's a single sleeve. Okay. And then thirdly, we have How the Gods Kill with the, oh, upside down. Danzig 3, How the Gods Kill with that H.R. Giger art. Now, I'm a huge Alien fan, and we're going to go into my Alien collection at some point. I have a huge collection of Alien stuff, but Danzig was a fan, obviously, of H.R. Giger as well. Jonathan Davis of Korn, also a Giger fan, had a mic stand, which I got to see in person and photograph. Now you can see this artwork on the back with the Danzig sword, and then there's the barcode on that one, also American Records. Now this is a gatefold. This one you can see does open up, which makes sense because this artwork, you'd want that to open up into a gatefold. Now I'm going to leave mine sealed, and I'll put some inserts of the gatefold artwork for the first album and the second album, probably maybe in my review portion of this. But there are the first 3 Danzig albums, and I'm going to go ahead and ultrasonic clean them because I'd heard that they're coming in paper sleeves. So I've got some replacement sleeves, and there it is. So we're going to ultrasonically clean these. I clean them on 15-minute cycles, and we'll let them air dry and in my ultrasonic there. And I had some people reach out to me and say what kind of ultrasonic. It's a VEVOR, VEVOR ultrasonic. And I'm going to re-sleeve them. But in the meantime, while these are cleaning, I'm going to give another listen to this blue copy. And then when I put the new ones on, I'll give you a comparison between the first album and the bootleg. And see if there's any sound differences, see if they sound better, see if they sound worse, see if they sound the same. Because there's no mastering information on these at this time, just the original mastering engineer. So we'll give this a lesson, we'll let these clean, and we will see you in the next part. Now, Danzig was formed in 1987, like I said, following the Misfits and Samhain, and retained some of the members from Samhain. He has Danzig on lead vocals, John Christ on guitar, Eerie Von on bass. Well, there's your Misfits connection and Samhain connection, and drummer Chuck Biscuits. Danzig has released 12 albums since Danzig 1, and the last was Danzig Sings Elvis in 2020. Well, I've cleaned them and I've listened to them, and I've got to tell you the results. So while they were cleaning, after they were cleaning and starting to dry, I played this bootleg European import version, the one that's on the blue. So I listened to this, listened to the first 3 tracks on side 1. And that would be Twist of Cain, Not of This World, and She Rides. Twist of Cain, that one we talked about earlier, having the James Hetfield vocals. Then I put on the newly reissued Danzig. No contest. No contest. These are definitely better transfers. Again, I know you've heard this term 1,000 times. The veil was lifted. Absolutely, 100%. In fact, after listening to that blue European version, I said to myself, this has got to be a CD rip, CD transfer for their original file that they used in cut to lacquer. This, on the other hand, even if it is a digital, it's got to be from a first generation or a copy of. The sound was night and day. Everything opened up. Everything seemed right dialed in. The mids, the highs, the bottom end on this thing, on Chuck Biscuit's drums, slam. I was like, holy mackerel, is that the same volume level? Yeah, I didn't touch the volume level. This thing sang. I was headbanging through the entire album. And then, of course, I said, holy shit, that's amazing. That's what I want to hear. I can only imagine how could this get any better? Now, I haven't heard an OG copy in years. I haven't. It's been forever since I heard an OG copy. My friend Brian was the first one that ever played it for me. And he used to feed his snakes rats, and he would play Ride of the Valkyrie or Danzig and let those things do what nature does. And I was like, whoa, this is incredible what I'm seeing live. But this that I'm hearing, holy mackerel. Yeah, this thing, gang. Now, this sold out. The first album and the second album both sold out. You can still get How the Gods Kill and 4. And I can tell you, as soon as I'm done recording this video, I'm ordering 4 ASAP. So these are going to fly off the shelves, and who knows when a repressing is going to come. my guess is it's gonna come because these two sold out right away. So you will probably see these available to be reordered again in the near future. Will that take 1 month, 2 months? Will it be January, February of next year? It's who's to say. Now these are already starting to creep up on the market. As soon as these sold out, they started going for anywhere from $70 to $100 on the secondary market. On eBay, some even higher. But that's how good they sound. When the word started to get out on these things, holy mackerel. And the same with the third one. Second and the third one, the sonics on these, the pressings appear to be 140 gram. They don't appear to be 180 gram. I didn't weigh them, but I can imagine from the weight that I was holding in my hand during the cleaning and drying process, felt akin to the Rhino High Fidelity in terms of weight. Now, in terms of construction, the cardboard sleeves on these are not stout. They're not tip on. They're average, everyday, lightweight sleeves. Well done. Well done. The transfers on each one of the photos, very well done. I was really happy. Now, maybe they're a bit more subdued. Perhaps the original copies are a little bit brighter. These two, it doesn't make as much of a difference. There may be a little bit more of a gray tone on this and less of those blues. I had this in the day in a CD box set, the one with the 3D plastic cover on it. And that was a CD version, but I remember it having more blues in it. This is definitely more grays in it, in the grays and the blacks. But people don't seem to be as concerned about that as you and I are these days. But as far as the Sonics go, man, man, no doubt. No doubt. I'm glad I never got those other European bootlegs, if you will, imports. But I'm glad I never got the other ones because that just would have been a waste of money. Now, I played that Danzig a lot, and I used to say to my friends, if this is all we're going to get, it's all we're going to get. And the rumor is that Danzig is the one that leaked those, but we may never know unless he gives an interview, or if he gives an interview on how these happened. If this was simply a rights issue and Universal picked up the rights or had acquired the rights, and that's why these are coming out, because obviously the demand is there. So the first two are sold out. Third one and the fourth one are still available. I'm going to order part 4 ASAP. But yeah, guys, you want to hear these things the way they're intended to be heard. Find these copies. It's a no-brainer. These are definitely better copies than those European bootlegs out there. Just much more compartmentalized guitars and bass. That bottom end. Glenn's vocals were suspended in that air between the two, occasionally peaking more into the right or the left as the chorus or the backing vocals came up on the other speaker, and then they kind of blend together. I loved these. These were fucking cool. And I'm gonna headbang some more. So as always, thanks for watching this unboxing and review. Like and subscribe. I really appreciate every one of you. Have made a lot of new friends in the comment section, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So as I always say, waka 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 waka, Pac-Man. Whoop, whoop.